Hello everyone, I'm Selin Gülden from Izmir University of Economics in Turkey, and my co-author is Özlem, who is a professor in Istanbul Bilgi University in Turkey. I'm a PhD candidate and she's my advisor, and this study that I'm going to be presenting to you is a part of my PhD thesis, and it's called The Vision of Design Awareness in a Family Business from an Emerging Market. This paper will As I said, this paper will reveal the insight from an ongoing PhD study engaging with the innovation and design principles of family-owned design-intensive firms, namely office furniture manufacturers in an emerging market, which is Turkey. And the initial findings presented in this paper is related to the engagement, commitment, and action applied in the design management process of the first case study undertaken within the ongoing PhD. And the aim of this study is to refer to the design value and related investments in a family business when achieving innovation. In this pilot explorative case study, the data is gathered from first primary resources of like semi-structured interviews and also secondary resources of archival records. And the participants of the primary resources of the interviews are including the two family members of the company from second and third generation, and also two non-family members of the company. And then with the thematic analysis, the patterns and common themes are revealed and associated with each other. And the findings show how a family business internalizes design principles and philosophies in an emerging market. The main data of this case study reveals the possible ways of creating competitive advantage in an emerging market with a vision for design awareness by internalizing a design thinking approach in the core culture of business, and also by creating initiatives and supporting projects for social, economic, and political spheres. When we talk about family business, family mostly affects how firms are created, survive, and have success. Thus, it's considered as the basic institution. Therefore, family business research is substantially grown in the last 20 years. As family firms are very significant for global economy, it's also possible to find some research related to the field of innovation management and new product development, particularly dealing with the issue of family business and how they practice innovation, organization, and management. And innovation is also very significant competitive advantage for businesses in a constantly changing environment, and the performance of a firm is related with its capability to innovate. And this capability continuously requires to evaluate existing strategies and moreover to establish new perspectives and alternative scenarios. In this respect, design becomes significant in transforming the current stringent business strategies by supporting multidisciplinary collaboration. For instance, thus it's able to add value to sustain in a fast-changing industry. And thus, when we talk about design-led innovation, which is the concept of design, when the concept of design is integrated at a strategic level, not only related to the development of a product or service, but also to the manufacturing activity, it's called design-led innovation. And the approach of implementing design principles and philosophies provides a brand new perspective to create, form, and bring new opportunities and innovation for companies. And significant evidence in existing literature on European and Asian countries indicates that companies with design integration operate both effectively and efficiently. Even so, embracing an DLI approach has been recently emerged in Turkey. Even though the practical success of DLI approach has already been accepted in business, case study data, including how companies embody a design culture, a culture of design and innovation, is very limited in the existing literature. Design and innovation, when we talk about the design and innovation in an emerging market, especially in this case, Turkey, in the last 50 years, Turkey has been in a major transformation with significant improvement in economy and social well-being. With the rise of knowledge economy, new determinants for economic growth and make use of new information and communication technologies, innovation has become an increased focus of competitiveness. Turkey has a strong entrepreneurial culture, and SMEs represent the largest percentage. And the issue of innovative and internationally competitive SMEs is very critical for growth and prosperity. When we talk about the identified key challenges of Turkey to promote and support innovation, They are identified as the R&D investment, the knowledge intensity of manufacturing, internationalization, and the two main obstacles were stated as the lack of internationalization and the access to finance. And the major challenges are the political instability and the cultural attitudes. Turkey has also a poor R&D performance, thus technology is mainly imported. Nowadays, the furniture industry, which is the case in this PhD thesis, the office furniture manufacturing industry, as one of the leading sectors in Turkey in terms of value adding, increasingly contributing to economy by the most use of local resources and least dependent to imported goods. In recent years, because of increasing urbanization, population growth, rising living standards, and opening up new workplaces, the demand for furniture rises. And Turkish office furniture sector, as one of the youngest sector in the industry, has shown incredible advance in terms of technology and competitiveness in the last 15 years. As in the OECD scoreboard in 2017, Turkey has witnessed the most notable rise in the R&D budget and also one of the highest and notable increases in the share of foreign value added in exports. And according to Global Innovation Index in 2017, was ranked 43 among 127 economies. And according to European Innovation Scoreboard in 2017, he was accepted as the moderate innovator. And over time, the performance is increased by 13% since 2010. And in the last top 100 of European office furniture companies, there are 4 companies in Turkey, ranked according to the sales of office furniture, market share, European sales, number of employees, and sales per employees. And Family Co, which is our pilot case study company, is one of them. And the data, as said, was collected from secondary and primary resources. The secondary resources includes all the corporate archive of Family Co and other archival resources related to the design and office furniture industry in Turkey. And the primary resources were the interviews, 2 from the family and 2 from the non-family members of the company. And when we look at the structure of the Family Co, we see that there are second and third generation of family members working actively in company, in also having non-family members as directors and managers of the company. And when we look at the evolution of the business, we can see that the company was founded in 1958 as a small metal workshop. And in 1978, they became founded as Family Co brands. And in 1990, they opened their first modern plant complex. And in 1999, they initiated collaborations with local and international designers. And in 2011, they opened their first showroom. And in 2015, they opened the second one with a new concept. And in 2017, they are included into Quality Support Program, which is a national brand building program, an accreditation system, in fact, initiated by the Turkish government and designed not only for elevating the companies to the level of international benchmarks, but also creating awareness on the internationally accepted values like quality and novelty that are actually carried by these brands. And its goal is to facilitate and support the success of Turkish brands on international level. And the significance when we choose Family Co, the significance of this business shows the strong performance that they have in the last 10 years, with having nearly 60 design awards, having highly modern and huge production centers, concept showrooms with idea experience centers, with an exclusive dealership agreements and partnerships with international brands, and having the first R&D and design center in the sector. And they were ranked also one of the fastest growing companies in Turkey. And one of the main key insights that we have from the thematic analysis is the vision for design awareness. It refers to the design value and related investments in family co, which internalize design principles and philosophies. And the value of design in family co's core culture was the first key insight emerged from the interviews. In the last 10 years, Family Co made significant investments to create design awareness in the company, in the local economy, community, and in the market. When we look at the findings that shows the vision for design awareness of the company, it started at 2011 with the action for a new showroom concept, which is departed from the strong production infrastructure within Family Co, using intentionally natural and incomplete elements of the production facility image, which are the boxes that are designed in different types and dimensions. We call the individualized spaces defined by office systems and furniture, used for exhibit units, symbolize in reality of the toy blocks of children, and make a fun reference to the industrial image and ambience of the Family Co. And since 2012, they have an action for a new communication project, having a wide social network where Turkish and international designers come together, where the showroom idea was later morphed into a communication project that combined Family Co's long history of craftsmanship with its intellectual and cultural nature. And this project continued with the creation of a magazine, embracing different genres over time, like music, photography, and video installations were supported. Students were provided with opportunities to develop, and artists found a channel to express themselves. And bringing together amateur and also professional artists, like from different disciplines, and in the end, they have the largest virtual culture and arts library in Turkey. And again, since 2015, as the continuity of this communication project, they also changed the idea of classic notebook, calendar, and diary as New Year gifts inspired by children books. And this project aimed to inspire people that it reaches and boost their creativity and remind them the rich world of childhood. And they used the illustrations of young Turkish artists. And it started in 2015 with Little Prince, and it continued with 2016 with Alice in Wonderland, and in 2017 with Sherlock Holmes, and then 18 with Peter Pan, and in 19, the last one was like for design your own journey, which includes 12 cities around the world and having information about their eating, how we can eat, what we can eat, what we can see, what we can listen, and how we can join the city. And in 2012, as an engagement with public design and art-related events, they included in the program of Istanbul Design Biennale, the first one. And they hosted and organized a discussion of the imperfection concept with the students of design department and an award-winning Turkish industrial designer in their showroom. And in 2014, as a commitment to forgotten local artisans and craftsmen, and also as an engagement with public design and art-related events, they also involved in the second Istanbul Design Biennale, which themed Future is Not What It Used to Be, with a series of short documentaries on local traditional professions that are about to be forgotten. This documentary was called Unrepeatable. And as the third generation family member, who is also the general manager of Family Co, says, with the development of technology, interests in professions that require manual workmanship has disappeared. We wanted to somehow bring these crafts and craftsmen back on the agenda and combine handcraft with art. We traveled all over Anatolia for documentaries, and some of the artists in the documentary are the last masters. And these documentaries include, like the first one called Amber, talks about casting. Second one called Glaze talks about tile making. The third one called Knot talks about weaving, carpet weaving. The fourth one was called Clay, talks about pottery. The fifth one is called Tin, talks about copper working. And the sixth one is called Dust and talks about wood carving. And in 2015, they have another action for a second showroom concept. And they opened this new center in Istanbul, housing a store and offices with core ideas concepts, introducing an open platform to engage in social and cultural dialogues with Istanbul, and seeking to encourage and embrace creative industries. And they also worked with a well-known international strategic consultancy firm specializing in office layouts and to determine the architectural style that is closest to the company's heart and create a layout to enable optimal productivity. And as a continuity of this idea, this ideas house is conceived as also as an inspirational space, using certain sections as temporary exhibition spaces, hosting talks on design, and transformed into a center for ideas over time. And since 2015, as an action for this, as the continuity, as the action of this second showroom concept, and as an engagement with design and art related events, they hosted also young Turkish musicians' performances in their ideas house. And they also hosted some talks about the workplace strategy, and they hosted some workshops about research, which are also sponsored by Family Co. And in 2017, as an engagement and collaboration with design and art-related initiatives, they also collaborated with Studio X Istanbul, which is an initiative and as an urban laboratory, let's say, that aims to identify the current and future issues facing the city and seeks to generate innovative forms of thinking for their solutions. And they sponsored some projects, and they collaborated also in a project which is telling the story and evolution of Family Co. themselves. And it's called A Story of Institutionalization in Furniture. And since 2017, as also, again, commitment to design and art-related initiatives, they sponsored Base Talks by Base Istanbul, which is also a new artist platform and collective for new Faculty of Fine Art graduates. And they aim to introduce these new graduates to the public art industry, creative industries, and media. And in 2017, again, as a commitment to design and workplace-related initiatives, they sponsored a video program by a digital media company called Out of Office, with a series of 12 interviews with leaders of business world, and they're talking about future. And it's also held in Ideas House of Family Co. And the interviews are including wide range of topics such as technological innovations, change of working spaces, and communications. And in 2017, as also a commitment to design and art-related initiatives, they also sponsored researches. And it's called Thursday Researches. And they were organized by 2 independent platforms for design research at the intersection of architecture, art, and production. And these are a series of 7 workshops for students and young professionals of architecture and design to create and disseminate platforms that will bring perspectives. And since 2018, they initiate, again, as an action for public design and workplace related initiative, they initiated spaces with 01 working, the first one of the public events, which based on the changing work culture, how the workspaces keep pace with this change, the effects of the new workspaces for the employees, supported with current examples from the world. And in addition to architects, of course, every session of the event will be, we're including like speakers from different fields of specialty. And when we summarize and review the discussion of vision for design awareness, in light of all this, it's revealed that Family Co embraces this design-led innovation process by establishing possible ways of creating competitive advantage in low-cost environment and internalizing design thinking approach. They also have the vision of creating trust and social networks, their goal of sustainability and long-term survival, and informal but efficient structures in organization. So with all those initiatives, they show all these. And as a conclusion, we can say that the main data of this case study reveals the possible ways of creating competitive advantage in an emerging market with a vision for design awareness by internalizing advocacy in design approach in the core culture of business with initiatives and supporting projects for social, economic, and political spheres. With all these findings that we have, like the action for that we can summarize as the action for a new showroom concept leading to a long-term communication project, engagement with public design and art-related events, commitment to local traditional professions and artisans and craftsmen, engagement with design and art-related initiatives, commitment to design and workplace-related initiatives, and also action, making action for public design and workplace-related initiatives. So that's all. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments and feedback, we're waiting for it. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. Thank you.